The MOE moves to clean up an abandoned city paper mill. A Thunder Bay delegation returns from a sister cities trip to China. And the LU Thunderwolves get ready to hit the ice.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. The Ministry of Environment has set in place some strict deadlines for the cleanup of an idled Thunder Bay mill.
The MOE has been working to get Superior Fine Papers to decommission numerous areas around the Kern River Mill since 2011. There is now an estimated price tag to conduct that work. The documents also appear to show millions of dollars are still owed to the province by the mill owners. Dennis Ward has the details.
The Ministry of the Environment first raised concerns about this mill in July 2011. Superior Fine Papers was ordered to immediately repair the lagoon to prevent sludge and wastewater from entering Lake Superior. The MOE pegs the cost of that work at $1.6 million and wants it complete by December 1st. Inside the mill are also numerous chemicals the MOE wants removed. They include hydrogen peroxide, phosphoric acid, and other lab and waste chemicals. The removal is now underway, and the MOE wants that work completed by September 30th at a cost of roughly $130,000. The final order is for the decommissioning and closure of the waste disposal site at an estimated cost of $860,000. The MOE are calling for the work to be wrapped up by the end of the year. MPP Michael Gravel, whose riding the mill sits in, says he's happy an agreement is finally in place.
Certainly doesn't mean that there aren't other future options in terms of the site, but this is for a long time obviously had some significant environmental issues attached to it, and it's important that this work gets done.
The overall cost of the decommission is pegged at $2.6 million. While the Ministry of Finance won't comment, the Environmental Review Tribunal order appears to show Superior Fine Papers also owes the province at least $2.4 million. That figure grows daily because of interest. It's believed Superior Fine Papers will finance these costs by selling off its remaining assets, and that includes the demolition and dismantling of this mill, which first began operation in 1918. Dennis Ward, TBT News.
Well, a change for motorists to be aware of when driving in the city's north side. Several new and permanent and temporary all-way stop signs have been installed at intersections along Bay Street between High and Marlborough. The signs will take effect at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning as part of Phase 1 of the new Bay Street Active Living Corridor. It's meant to make the route safer for pedestrians and cyclists. Bike lanes will not be added to Bay Street, and there will be no loss of parking. Active Transportation Coordinator Adam Kruper says since they cleared up those misconceptions, the feedback received from area residents has been mainly positive. Kruper's hopeful the new signs will help funnel traffic toward main arteries like High Street and away from these more residential areas.
Move to the bigger streets, move to the streets that are designed to move lots of traffic quickly. Because as we move forward, we want to define residential areas as quiet, safe neighborhoods. And if we can help do that by reducing traffic a little bit, then we're making a higher quality of life for people who are living in the area.
Come September 18th, when the city implements Phase 2 of the project, the temporary east and west stop signs on Bay Street at Ray Boulevard, Rupert Street, and Winnipeg Avenue will be removed. More information is available on the city website.
Mining and the possible exchange of students and faculty were high on the list of discussions by a local delegation in China this past week. A group of 7, including members of council, Confederation College, and a local Tai Chi master, made the trip to our new sister city, Jiaozhou. Committee Chair Aldo Roberto feels the future is unlimited between our two communities. The committee often feels the heat over whether the money is well spent on having sister cities. Roberto says this entire trip cost $10,000.
Look at it. We have a budget of $25,000 for sister cities. That's for 5 to make 5 relationships with 5 different cities. Total budget $25,000 out of $360 million. Having said that, we're sitting down talking to these people from China, and they're interested in what we're doing in mining and exploration and investment.
The new connection was set up in part by Tai Chi master Pen Yu. He's been taking delegations back and forth between the two cities for years.
Thunder Bay is expecting a visit from Premier Kathleen Wynne next week. The Premier is scheduled to be in the city Tuesday to participate in a jobs and growth roundtable and to attend the official opening of Lakehead University's new Faculty of Law. The stopover is part of a Northern Ontario swing for Wynne. She'll also visit Kenora and Fort Severn.
A group of Thunder Bay residents are doing whatever they can to help make the homeless smile. Volunteers set up booths containing food, clothing, and toiletries in both the north and south downtown cores, all to put a smile on the faces of the city's less fortunate. Cheryl Holmes has more.
And then we've got canned foods here. We got stuffies and bubbles for kids.
Kim Coro has been feeding, housing, and clothing the homeless for nearly 20 years. She says it's in her nature to give.
I care about people. I've just always wanted to help people, and this was what I figured needed to be done. I wish I could do more.
Coro recently created a Facebook page to get more people on board with the idea. And now a group of volunteers are handing out more than 200 care packages to homeless people across the city. Everyone involved has their own reason to give and a story behind their drive for charity.
I decided to join. I'm no longer working, and I had some free time, and I thought this would be wonderful.
When I seen it on Facebook, her asking for help, I thought that it would be a wonderful idea, because I know at any moment any one of us can be in this position.
For some, volunteering came as a way to pay tribute to loved ones. Brenda Gillespie says she's volunteering in memory of a friend who recently passed away.
He was not homeless, but he was definitely down on his luck and could have quite well taken advantage of this.
One of those people taking advantage of this opportunity is Joey Muniz. He's been living in Thunder Bay for just over a year. Muniz spends most of his days volunteering his time or visiting different drop-in centers. He says he'll take whatever he can if someone's offering support.
Okay, bud, you take care of yourself, right? All right, thank you. For myself anyways, and my kids, and even my family, like it's really good to have something like this because it's making me feel better. Like at least I have something to go to,
All the items for the care packages were donated by different organizations and companies across Thunder Bay. Group members are hoping to continue this program on a monthly basis. Cheryl Holmes, TVT News.
There were protests from some motorists following a police enforcement blitz on the James Street Swing Bridge last week. And despite a warning from police that they would be back, it appears many drivers didn't pay heed. This was the scene last week as Thunder Bay Police teamed up with both the CN and CP Rail Police to crack down on distracted drivers. More than 40 charges were laid for a variety of infractions. In fact, police reported they were so busy they simply couldn't charge all the offenders. Well, officers returned today and the numbers were even higher. In all, 108 charges were laid. They included 53 seatbelt infractions, 5 of which involved children, 15 for texting or cell phone use, and police issued 4 speeding tickets. Also, 3 suspended drivers were caught. Police say drivers can expect more enforcement blitzes of this type in the future.
The Drug Enforcement Unit is reporting a small drug seizure following the search of an Academy Drive apartment yesterday. Police say the search turned up over 300 grams of crack cocaine worth almost $100,000. Close to $1,700 in cash was also seized. A 27-year-old Toronto man is facing several charges.
A Thunder Bay man has been hit with a hefty fine for allowing his pet dogs to run at large. A provincial offences court judge has ordered 45-year-old Enzo Manai to pay fines totaling $4,500 for the infraction. This follows a complaint from one of Manai's neighbors in April, claiming he was confronted by 2 aggressive German shepherds while walking his dog near his Paquette Road home. Included in the fines levied was a $1,000 charge for failing to license the animals. Manai has also been ordered to keep the dogs in a pen when they're let out of the house.
The Lakehead District School Board is looking forward to an uninterrupted school year. Yesterday, approval was given to a memorandum of understanding on a new labor deal between the unions and the Ministry of Education. There are some differences in the collective agreements between the various school boards. The main points affected locally include sick leave, unpaid days, and absences. After sweeping strike action last year, Director of Education Kathy Semenuk is just hoping for a year of labor peace.
The penning of the MOU is a critical part to ensure labor peace. I also know that our trustees have a great deal of respect for our local employees, and I think by passing this or approving this, the appending of doing that, it certainly demonstrates that level of respect that they have for our employee groups.
The new contract will stay in effect until August of next year.
Well, how well can your child see? Most parents can't accurately answer that question, and it's one that's especially important when planning for back to school. Each year, less than 14% of Canadian children under age 6 have a comprehensive eye exam, despite the fact that an estimated 1 in 6 has a vision problem. Dr. Paul Savioli says this can impact a child's ability to learn, socialize, and participate in physical activities.
The main concern is that we know that 80% of learning is visual, so we want to correct children's vision so that when they're in school, they're on a level playing field and learning to the best of their ability.
Comprehensive eye exams are covered by OHIP and could have potentially make or break the school year for the little ones. The Ontario Association of Optometrists also leads a program that gives children entering kindergarten a free pair of glasses after their eye exam if needed.
Teresa Spence has been re-elected to a second 3-year term as chief of the Attawapiskat First Nation. Spence received 214 of the 507 votes cast. She gained authority last winter for subsisting on fish broth and tea for 6 weeks as a form of protest during the rise of the Idle No More movement. The election went ahead Tuesday despite a call from the Congress of Aboriginal Peoples to postpone it until all off-reserve members had a chance to vote. The group says it was unfair to people who live outside the remote community that they were obligated to travel to the reserve to cast a ballot.
Well, it was a day of fun, games, and food for the little ones. Once again, the Boys and Girls Club hosted their annual open house. Hundreds came out to participate in the festivities and enjoy the weather as summer begins to wind down. Nate Jones was there.
How much fun have you been having today?
More than I can say. So much fun.
It would be fair to assume that was the case with just about all the kids at the open house. The inflatables are always a popular activity, whether kids are scrambling up the climbing wall or trying to knock one another off a perch in the ring. After a hot dog or two, it might be nice to beat the heat. Hey, did you know that they even have a slip and slide out back?
No, I did not know that.
Yes, the timeless slip and slide. What better way to cool down while still enjoying the beautiful weather? With temperatures hitting the high 20s, many were enjoying this summer activity. Boys and Girls Club Executive Director Albert Aiello says this is a great way to showcase the fall programs.
We love to see youth participating in such activities and have facilities like we have throughout the city to keep kids off the street, keep them busy, keep them occupied.
The club has a wide range of kids that can join. Some are as young as 4 years old. So, what else have you been doing today?
I went on the bouncy castle and I was doing backflips in the gym. The obstacle course inside. I climbed all the way to the top for my very first time.
Inside, there was no shortage of activities. An obstacle course kept kids bouncing and flipping around the gym. And of course, Science North was running its own hands-on games and presentations. The Boys and Girls Club in Thunder Bay has over 2,000 members. And a one-year membership is just $10. Nate Jones, TBT News.
Well, before we get to the weather, our ongoing hot streak has been the subject of a lot of conversation lately and more than a few complaints. But some people aren't letting the hot weather get them down. Case in point, this friendly fellow who showed up this afternoon on the city's north side. For those sweating it out, the snowman's declaration that he's invincible served as a reminder that winter is never all that far away here in the Northwest. And given today's temperatures, it might not be just invincible, it may also be pretty inviting to some. But we'll see how you feel about that when he's joined by his snowman friends in December.